Welcome to the Kendo and Aido Italia podcast in this English language version. Enjoy listening.
So have you ever wondered what it really takes to pass a Kendo promotional exam? Believe me, it is so much more than just winning a match. Today, we're going to break down the entire process from the very first steps all the way to mastery, and we're using a fantastic study guide to pull back the curtain on the hidden layers of this incredible martial art.
And this, right here, is where we have to start. This one quote pretty much sums up the entire philosophy. Before a single sword is even drawn, before you take a single step, there's etiquette. See, this isn't just about fighting. It's a discipline of character. And as you're about to see, it's the foundation for literally everything else. Okay, so let's imagine we're building a pyramid of mastery. The very first block, the bedrock that everything else sits on, is respect. The guide is incredibly clear about this. Without this first layer, the whole thing just crumbles. It is the absolute, non-negotiable starting point.
So, what exactly is Reiki? Well, it's way more than just bowing correctly. The manual describes it as the right way to act in all your relationships. At the dojo, sure, but also at work, at home, everywhere. In Kendo, a lack of etiquette isn't just seen as being rude, it's seen as a major flaw in your moral character as a swordsman.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? With Reiki, Kendo is this beautiful art of self-improvement. Without it, you're just violently hitting someone. With etiquette, your opponent is like a mirror, helping you see yourself. Without it, they're just a target. It transforms what could be a brutal contest into this amazing opportunity for mutual learning.
Let's move up to the next layer of our pyramid, appearance and form. You might think the exam really starts when the judge shouts Hajime, right? Well, think again. What the guide reveals is that the examiners are already evaluating you the second you come into view.
And here's the deal. You have to look the part. You have to carry yourself with the dignity and the presence of the rank you're actually testing for. It's all about how you walk, how you stand, how you wear your gear. It's about showing respect for the art, for your opponent, and for yourself in every tiny detail.
And get this. This is where you really see how deep it all goes. Even your uniform has a kind of hidden code. Those 5 pleats you see on the front of the hakama, they aren't just for looks. They actually represent the 5 virtues of the old samurai code. So when an examiner sees a candidate with neat, crisp pleats, they're not just seeing a tidy uniform. They're seeing a visual commitment to the very soul of the art.
All right, so with that foundation of respect and appearance in place, we can finally get to the heart of the exam, the sparring, or what's called jigaiko. But, and this is a big but, combat in an exam is completely different from combat in a tournament.
This is so important to understand. The examiners are not looking for a winner. They are looking for a beautiful demonstration of correct Kendo principles. In fact, if you try to win using sloppy or cheap tricks, that's probably one of the fastest ways to fail the exam. They want to see that you understand the fundamentals and that you can execute them perfectly, even under pressure.
So what makes a strike correct? It all comes down to this one concept, Kiken Tai Ichi. This means your spirit, your sword, and your body all have to become one single unified action. You need a powerful shout, that's the ki, a clean, precise cut with the right part of the shinai, that's the ken, and a strong, committed stomp or step, that's the tai. They have to happen at the exact same instant. It's the physical proof of total commitment to the strike.
And the attitude they're looking for? It's all about being proactive. The guide points out that Kendo is kind of 50% attack and 50% defense, but the attack is the more important half. Examiners would much rather see you launch a strong, spirited attack that misses than see you just standing there, passively waiting to react. It shows you're trying to make things happen, not just trying to avoid getting hit.
Okay, now we're getting to the very top of our pyramid. This is where we go beyond the physical moves and into the mental game. We're talking about the invisible battle, the advanced concepts that truly separate the masters from everyone else. First up is semi. This is the art of dominating the space between you and your opponent through pressure. Now, this can be something you can see, like a small movement of your sword tip, or it can be completely invisible, just a feeling, a projection of your will. The whole point is to get in their head, break their posture or their concentration, and force them to make a mistake that you can instantly pounce on. So, how in the world do you see an opponent's intentions before they act? Through this concept, Enzan no Mitsuke. It literally means gazing at a distant mountain. So instead of staring at their sword or their hands or their feet, you soften your focus and observe their entire being, just like you would take in a whole mountain range. The guide says to read their intentions through their eyes, the windows of the mind. You're seeing everything at once without getting fixated on any one thing.
And once you can sense their intention, you can start to master timing. The guide lays out these 3 initiatives. First, there's Sensen no Sen. This is where you attack the very instant you feel your opponent even thinks about attacking, before they can move. Then you have Go no Sen. You let them start their attack, you skillfully evade it, and then you launch your counter. And finally, Sen no Sen. You strike them right in the middle of their attack, intercepting it. Mastering these shows a deep strategic mind, not just fast reflexes.
But wait, it's not over once the strike lands. That's where Zanshin comes in. The name means lingering mind, and it's the perfect description. It's the spiritual follow-through. After you strike, you don't just drop your guard and celebrate. You stay completely alert, physically and mentally ready for anything. It proves that your successful strike wasn't just a lucky shot, but a controlled, deliberate action from beginning to end.
So, how does all of this, the respect, the appearance, the fighting spirit, and that invisible strategy, how does it all come together? Well, it builds up, layer by layer, as the swordsmen makes their way up through the ranks.
Let's just walk through this timeline. At first cue, right at the beginning, they're looking for the basics, good energy, appropriate attacks. By Shodan, or first-degree black belt, you need to be able to show 2-step techniques. Then by Sandan, 3rd degree, boom, you have to demonstrate Seme, that invisible pressure we were just talking about. At Godan, it's about creating your own openings by controlling the center line. And by the time you reach the really high levels like Nanadan, the requirement isn't even a specific technique. It's an essence of dignity. You can see the evolution from purely physical to something way, way deeper. And that, right there, is the biggest takeaway. Passing a Kendo exam is not about collecting titles. Each rank is a milestone, measuring your personal growth. The examiners aren't just looking at your sword skills. They're assessing your character, your discipline, and just how deeply you understand the heart of the art.
So we end on this final thought. This guide, it gives you all the tools and all the strategies you need to defeat an opponent. But after digging through all these layers, from simple etiquette to the invisible battle of wills, you have to ask yourself a question. Is the real goal to master the person standing across from you, or is it to master the person within?
Thank you for listening to this podcast.
Kendo Iaido Italia